Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming. If you know what I'm saying. Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for a cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap into fall with Manscaped? Join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code AgeOfRadio. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. If you're looking to cozy up this fall, this trimmer is essential. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. This nose and ear trimmer uses 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Then, after trimming the pumpkin patch and whacking the leaves, give your balls a boost and use Crop Reviver. Once again, get 20% off free shipping with the code AgeOfRadio at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code AgeOfRadio at manscaped.com. Make your balls a priority this fall. Choose Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
Age of Radio.
I've got it. I've got it. The idea for my next movie.
Okay. Whoa, Mr. Crowe. I tell you're very excited. Did you have an appointment or did you?
Cam, if you're not fast enough. But I don't need an appointment. I've just been struck with genius. I have the idea for my next fantastic movie that everyone's gonna love.
Okay. All right. Well, you did well. You Almost Famous, great movie. You wrote Fast
Now I'm
Times.
totally famous.
Oh, is that? Yeah, you never told that joke here. So yeah, what do you got? What do you got, Cameron?
I just got back from a trip to Hawaii, and I want to do that. And while I was on the plane, I watched this movie where there was all these these spies and intrigue, and they were putting nuclear weapons into outer space, and it was very clandestine. So I want to do that. And there was this couple that were on the plane. They were bickering, and the wife alluded to maybe a bastard kid that the husband had that she sort of knew about, and he was keeping secret. So I want to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so Cameron, just to check in
and
real
quirky
quick.
dialogue for everybody. Quirky, out-of-place dialogue for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's your thing. Now, Cameron, I just want to check in real quick and make sure you heard me say movie and not movies.
Right.
So, I mean, you could pick one of these. I mean, we're not here to make 3 movies today. I mean, we don't have the budget.
We're
for
not
that
going
right
to.
now.
We're not going to.
Wait.
I want to do all of those in one movie.
Okay, well, again, Cameron, I don't know. That sounds like a lot of different ideas, just kind of butting heads. It doesn't really sound like it'll gel real well.
With Almost Famous and Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Jerry Maguire. So, tell you what, I can make all 3 of those movies at the same time into one movie for the budget. Now, you are the money man. Show me the money.
Aloha.
What's a good title?
No, that means leave.
You know when I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Aloha, everyone.
Yes.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Nathan.
And this is the What Were They Thinking podcast. Nathan, we are in the month of July. This is summer schlockbusters, summer flopbusters, summer releases.
Right.
And on this podcast, and I'm just getting everything way out of order because why the hell not? We talk about bad to questionable movies, and I don't know. I don't know if this falls under that category.
I would say it falls under the questionable to forgettable movie.
No, I say that because I'm not sure that it's a full movie.
Oh, like that is cobbled together like a Frankenstein's monster.
Like a bunch of scenes that Cameron Crowe was like, you know what, this is a little too far. Maybe he's just cobbled them together in a montage. But yes, we are talking about the 2015 major hit, Aloha, and of course. I have to say aloha to our guest returning to the show after discussing another cinematic classic, the 1517 to Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, John Ellis.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Summer movies, as in summer hits, and some not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm out of here. Thank you. That's right. Summer.
That's his retiring joke. He's out.
That's right. I'm gonna walk out now. Thanks for having me. Good to be back. Aloha to you as well.
Aloha.
Are you guys saying goodbye? You want me to leave?
Yes, that's what I was be saying goodbye.
Oh no, this is gonna cause a lot of confusion, guys.
You say goodbye, it means hello.
I don't think you can afford that song.
$100 every time.
Aloha, the movie. As if it was based on the television
I wish
show.
that was it. Like Aloha, the movie.
Based on the video game, one of the worst video games ever made. John, now technically this was this was my pick, but I did ask John when you come back, any movies in mind, something you'd like to discuss, and Aloha came up pretty quickly.
I don't know if like to discuss is the right.
I think I said any
right.
Classic cinema that you would like to really
sounds right.
delve into, and you said, "Oh, Cameron Crowe's Aloha, please."
Yeah.
If not,
we went through
Pootie
the AFI 100, and those didn't work. So this was like right in there below it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It's like 101 on the AFI then.
That's right, 101. Yeah. We'll see. A new list will come out soon. We'll see what happens.
Oh.
Yeah, I did want to discuss it. Mainly because I want you guys to tell me what this movie's about, because I'm still not sure. I don't know what happened. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what Bill Murray was doing. I don't understand his role in this. I didn't get that at all.
Oh, I got a theory on that one.
Alec Baldwin was also in it, yelling a lot. There's a lot. We could talk about a lot of that.
Alec Baldwin is yelling for, I would say, 95% of his time on screen,
That's right.
which is about 5 minutes. I needed more Alec Baldwin yelling, to be quite honest.
That's right.
I could have had more of that. But yeah, so this is Aloha. This is 2015. I mentioned this was a hit. Of course, jokingly, this movie cost about $52 million. I mean, probably just cast alone.
Casting and location. If they shot it in Hawaii, that's, yeah.
It made 26. World
Made $26.
$26. Two people went and saw it.
$26, yeah.
I was not one of them, even though I did see it in theaters because it was free, so I didn't have to pay for a ticket. Thank God for that.
Do they count that towards box office, I wonder?
I mean, when you ring it in, it's $0.00, so I wouldn't think so.
But it's still a sold ticket, though.
Oh, I guess it has to be paid back in some form.
I assume someone's paying for it somewhere.
Let's delve into the business strategies of Cineplex Limited, whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, let's ask three people that have no idea.
Well, Brendan and I have some idea. We could suss this thing out rather than talking about Aloha.
Nope, we need to talk about Aloha.
God damn
So,
it, Brendan.
I just want to point out right now, as we get started, this movie has a great cast. We have Bradley Cooper, Emma Stone, Rachel McAdams, Bill Murray, Danny McBride. I'm going to feel like an idiot leaving someone out.
John Krasinski says a word or two.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, just like crazy good cast. And I was excited to see this when it came out because I thought, okay, well, Cameron Crowe, I know he did make Elizabethtown, which wasn't received super well, but maybe this one will be different. And it was not.
I did not see Elizabethtown. Was it not a good movie?
I don't think I actually saw the full thing, but I saw enough of it to know that I probably wouldn't like it very much.
But is the general consensus out there that it wasn't a good movie?
Yeah, it was pretty middling from
Okay.
what I remember. I think the same thing for like We Bought a Zoo. It was pretty much like meh.
Yeah, but at least We Bought a Zoo could dial up the schmaltz because it's got that whole family vibe to it. Whereas Elizabethtown is just like, these guys are just affluent bored yuppies listening to music. I really don't want to deal with this. Hey, Garden State. Look at that. Zach Braff and Natalie Portman.
And Peter Sarsgaard.
Right.
Yeah.
I like how we're talking about every movie but this one. It's much better to talk
Every
about.
chance I get.
So, Aloha. Plot of this movie. John, you said you were confused by the plot.
No, I don't. That's not me just being funny. I don't understand what happened in the movie.
So
The movie doesn't know what it wants to be.
I'm gonna try to break this down as basic as I can. I'm pretty sure Bradley Cooper was like in Afghanistan for a while, not just on vacation. He was like in the military. Something happened. He's working for like a rich military contractor who's played by Bill Murray. Stay with me. And he wants him to go to Hawaii to negotiate this place where they can build a base. But it turns out, spoiler alert, that Bill Murray just wants to use it to launch a rocket into space, which nobody else really knows at the time, besides obviously Bradley Cooper. Emma Stone is also there as like his, I don't know, attaché. Like I don't know what her part is, but she's there and she's wonderful, and I don't care as long as she's bringing some life into this movie. He goes to Hawaii and meets up with his old flame, Rachel McAdams. She's married to John Krasinski now, a man who is very silent. Hilarity ensues?
Not quite.
Well, let's stick on that point because I read the description of this being a romantic comedy. Is this a comedy? I did not know this was a comedy.
Were there jokes?
Well, in the way Cameron Crowe writes jokes, I guess.
I mean, there was that hat with the glasses. Was that the big joke?
That was
you guys remember that?
Brendan, I think your assessment of this is almost spot on, but they did know that Bill Murray was trying to launch a satellite into space.
It's almost famously spot on.
But but they did not know about the additional payload.
Yeah.
Which was going to be like a nuclear weapon. And I think other than that, and Emma Stone is like his local guide.
Oh, okay, that's what she's supposed to be. Okay.
Because remember, she's 1/4 Hawaiian.
She is 1/4 Hawaiian. Maybe not the best idea for casting, but but certainly not the most egregious example of whitewashing either.
No.
And by the way, that whole missile thing they said they were hiding, whatever it was, they were up in space. It wasn't supposed to be their weapon. That was discovered because that kid was video and everything. Like we all saw that coming from the beginning. Like that's going to come back later. He's literally videoing everything.
Oh man.
It's like
we start this movie with a bunch of stock footage, Hawaii, military planes, etc.,
right.
etc., etc. And then, we start off as every great movie should start off with, and I think, John, this might have to become the theme when you come back. We will only do movies that start with a voiceover by the main character, because we have Bradley Cooper talking about how he used to love the sky, man. He used to love that sky.
oh, and they never went back to that either.
Never. Not a
'Cause
single
I forgot it. Till you just said it, I forgot all about it.
Well, the voiceover doesn't come back at all either, right? Like at all.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's voiceover that's introduced and dropped. Like
And you were sometimes you would have that intro and then maybe the bookend. They didn't even do the bookend.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, he talks about how he used to love the sky, and then NASA in 2008 got all political and ruined everything. He talks about how he was injured in Afghanistan. Don't worry, guys. We'll get more details on that later. I still don't understand what happened, but anyway. Now he's working for Rich Bill Murray, the military contractor.
But is he though?
I think
Like,
so.
is that his boss?
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it's his boss. Yeah.
Because here's what happened. He was
This is, guys. You're literally listening to us try to figure this out.
Bradley Cooper was in the military or working with NASA, lost his job, then got a job as a private contractor with Carson Welsh, Bill Murray. He was working for Bill Murray for the longest time, and then he did get injured in Afghanistan. From my understanding, it was because he was stealing money from the company. This kind of made him persona non grata in their industry, and this gig was kind of supposed to be like his second chance or his redemption song, if you will. And it was Bill Murray who actually called him in to do it as I guess a way to say, I forgive you. You can work for me again.
John, you got all that?
A way to say aloha.
Right.
Got it.
Got it. We nailed it.
And
What were they thinking? See you next week.
Still took us almost 18 minutes.
so knowing that, then, and this is my questions here. Was he a pilot? Because he said he loves the skies or something, right? Or was he some sort of? Because at the end, I'm getting ahead here, Brendan. You can slow me down if you want. At the end, he's like on the computer programming stuff and typing real fast. Is he some kind of hacker?
I think he just has a love for space in general, not necessarily in regards to him being an actual pilot.
All right.
Oh, how great would it have been if while he was doing that at the end, he's just like, hack the planet! Oh, okay. So yeah, he shows up to Hawaii. He meets up with his buddy Danny McBride, and they're all buddy. Weird seeing Danny McBride in this movie at the time. I remember being like, "Wait, aren't you like the Pineapple Express dude?" And shit like that. Like, what are you doing in this movie? But they're
Twiddling
just
his
hanging
fingers.
out. Oh, he calls them fingers because his fingers are crazy because every character's got to have a fucking quirk. They're just hanging out. They're buds for life. And then he spots Rachel McAdams, his ex-flame, and Danny McBride says, "Pause for the memories," because that's how people talk. Nobody in this movie talks like how people talk, like not a single character.
Nope, that's right. And we do get a throwaway line about as to why she's actually there is because she does she's like a civilian employee for the military who does like event planning or something. She oversees like soldiers coming home, if they're coming home for burial or any other sort of things that might be received. And that's her gig. And that's the only time we hear about it.
Right. Oh, yeah, because I did think the tone of that scene was kind of weird because there was a coffin coming off the plane and Danny McBride was like, "Hey, that's your old ex-flame." And I'm like, dude, show some respect.
She just died, obviously.
Come on.
I would say, you were talking about how nobody talks like this in real life. I think that's more of a Cameron Crowe feature than necessarily a bug in this movie.
But
I mean, I like Cameron Crowe, but I don't think all of his movies are like, nobody really says "you had me at hello." That's not something people say.
No, but I feel like in this movie, everyone sounds like the same character. Like, he doesn't really differentiate. It all just sounds like Cameron Crowe.
Yeah, well,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at least
That's
in
true.
Almost Famous, everyone talks a specific way. Fast Times, everyone's different. I don't know. It just seems like it's not. It doesn't really come together as much in this movie. I know it's a hot take, but that's what I thought anyway. But we do, and then one of the first things I remember seeing this because I saw this in theaters, and one of the first things that really made me be like, all right, fuck off movie, is because shortly after we meet Emma Stone, who's very bubbly and very, she's fun. I think I think everyone's good in this movie, honestly, but she's probably the one that stands out for me anyway. But she's like, she's walking over with Bradley Cooper, and he's talking to Rachel McAdams, and the camera just keeps fucking spinning around them and around them and around them, and I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? In the theater, I felt sick watching it. I'm like, I'm not watching Hardcore Henry. Like, calm the fuck down.
Or Gravity.
Gravity, yeah, exactly. I'm watching a Cameron Crowe movie about Hawaii. I don't think we need this.
So what you were saying about on the positive side about Emma Stone, I still love Emma Stone.
Oh, yeah, she's
even
great.
in a bad movie like this, she looked great. She sounded great. She was bubbly. I can watch her do anything.
Yeah, the thing with this movie is that there's no issues with. I don't feel I had an issue with anybody's acting in this thing.
No,
but it's the dialogue, the ridiculousness of the story, and the fact that the movie shifts its tone so much, and it doesn't know what it wants to be. Like if it wants to be a romantic comedy or high suspense in regards to global weaponization. Or is it, is it a falling in love story for two people who just kind of met in Hawaii? And, like Cameron said in the opening, let's just put it all into one movie and it'll be one big hot pile of garbage. Sorry.
At no point did I ever buy the Bradley Cooper Emma Stone connection. I just didn't see it.
No.
They didn't seem to have any kind of connection together, and he just had sort of one monotone talking the whole time. It was not really elevated. Only to that last scene with his with the girl at the dance studio that I finally like see some little emotion between those two. But other than that's a whole other. We can discuss that too.
Yeah, and we will when we get to that. I have some thoughts on that last scene.
I think the problem with the two of them is like I think she's wonderful, and I think the whole movie I'm just like, what do you see in him? I don't see the attraction at all, other than the fact that obviously the physical attraction, but like
I think she's also got a thing for guys who are broken because of the way she talks about him to her mom, which he totally eavesdrops on.
He got married and divorced.
Yeah, you know what? I lived a full life.
From a fake heiress. Oh yeah, homegirl took him down. But before that all came apart, there was greatness in this guy.
Oh, now you're gonna compliment me?
He's got kind of like a chilly presence. Like you look into his eyes and it's miles of blue. He's just a brilliant, compelling, innovative, commanding.
Stop it.
Frickin' wreck of a guy.
Did he bug her phone?
No, it just happened. That was it was like the idea. I think was supposed to be that it was a I don't know, like a cross wire, or intercepted signal on his cell phone.
Well, I don't think they stuck with that story because he had his headphones on, but he could hear her.
So that's why I thought.
But then it turns out later the walls were very thin because when he sneezed earlier, she says "bless you."
Okay, well that could have been it too then.
I don't think they made up their mind which way it was.
See, the movie totally made me think because he had the headphones in that he was like he had bugged her phone, and I was like, that's not a positive character trait. But anyway, yeah. So they're hanging out, and apparently they just keep saying, "Oh, Bradley Cooper's here to get for a gate blessing." And every time they said gate blessing, I was like, "What are you talking about?" I mean, eventually I figured out what is actually going on, but they just kept saying gate blessing, gate blessing. Like, stop! Just stop the movie and tell me. I want exposition. I know I don't ask for that a lot, but I need some exposition here.
Maybe you should read the Bantam novelization, Brendan.
Oh. Please tell me that exists.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, so my note is just, he's kind of a cock to Emma Stone.
Just about everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote my notes, and let me explain. I wrote the words Adam Sandler. And let me explain, because Adam Sandler has this thing where he'll call his friends and say, "Hey, we're shooting a movie in Hawaii. It's not gonna be great, but we're gonna have fun." Everybody buys into it.
Yep.
And nobody really cares.
Yep.
It feels like that, except Adam Sandler movies are better. It feels like the same kind of thing where they got together and say, "We're gonna make a mess out of this and have a ball, and nobody's gonna care." At least with those movies, I mean, everybody signing up knows it's gonna be ridiculous.
All right, let's get ready to shoot the wrong Missy.
That's right.
Oh, guys, that's not a recommendation on this side here. The wrong Missy. At least Adam Sandler movies. Oh, what am I saying? At least they have I guess at least the characters.
Please elaborate.
The characters. No, I can't. I will
say
on.
this: at least with an Adam Sandler movie, you know what you're getting into.
That's right.
If you hear at least at that time, maybe like you said with that stumble with Elizabethtown, but. You hear the name Cameron Crowe, you think, he makes some good movies.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see a good movie, just like Brendan thought. And that was not the case.
That's what I did. And
see, at least with Adam Sandler, well, it's Adam Sandler. There's going to be a lot of dick and fart jokes. Hey, look at that. All kinds of dick and fart jokes.
It did not disappoint.
Exactly.
I will say I should have seen a red flag when I think I went into the Rotten Tomatoes thing. I'm like, that's pretty low for a Cameron Crowe movie. Oh, well.
Oh, so you actually kind of went in not totally blind to the whole thing.
Oh, no. I had my expectations lowered, and I was still like, woof.
Wow.
So
this has 1, 2, 3 Oscar winners at least in it. and 2 other nominees. Bradley Cooper won. Emma Stone's won.
Yeah.
Of course, Cameron Crowe won screenplay. So that's 3. Rachel McAdams was nominated. I think Bill Murray was probably nominated, wasn't he? For something.
Probably a Wes Anderson movie.
Murray's definitely.
It's stacked with high caliber people.
Also,
people.
when Brendan and I were actually we were talking about this through over Messenger when both of us are for some reason we're almost watching it at exactly the same time.
Almost in simpatico, yeah.
Yeah. I noted to Brendan, it feels like they stuck Bill Murray in here just so he could feel like so we could think and maybe even feel it was a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
It does feel like he was trying to go with that Wes Anderson feel.
Yeah.
He just couldn't pull it off. The quirkiness of it.
Yeah.
But there was no quirkiness.
So
Like on paper, it had that, but didn't come off.
So Emma Stone is driving around with Bradley Cooper. Her name is Ing, but I feel weird saying that. Let's just say it's Emma Stone.
It's not Ing, because she says it's Ing like ring, but without the R.
And right there, you're like, okay, that shouldn't be your name. But
even if you are 1/4 Hawaiian, that would have to mean at least 1/4 of you is Japanese, possibly. Japanese or Chinese.
Well, I think she said. I think the actual character is supposed to have like a mother that's half Chinese and a Swedish father or something like that. So that's their justification of the whole thing.
Then her last name should not be Ing unless she's going by her mother's maiden name.
I don't know. John, as a Tennessean.
Oh, I'm not commenting on this discussion. Please move along.
You coward! You coward! You.
But they need to go get the blessing. They need to go bless the gate. So they go see Bumpy. That's
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper's.
Yeah, you knew, and I could tell from the get go when they're talking to these native Hawaiians, like, oh, they're gonna get screwed over. We see it coming.
Yeah.
We promise we're not gonna let you down. Yeah, you are. Yes, we all see it coming. There's gonna be a big letdown.
And like a lot of scenes in this movie, this whole sequence is so drawn out. This guy Bumpy comes out with a Hawaiian by birth T-shirt, so we know. And
Hawaiian by birth, American by force is what it said on the back.
That's right.
Is that what it says on the back?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're having this conversation, and he's like, I didn't really like the military, but now I like respect the military. And I'm like, what are we doing? Movie, what is your purpose? I need to know where we're going. But they're negotiating basically like, hey, Bumpy, we want to put this thing here. We'll give you no cell service, but you can have one mountain. And he's like, no, 2 mountains and cell service. And, they come to an agreement. Emma Stone, by the way, the whole thing with her character is that she's very in touch with the land. She loves Hawaii. She's not into what Bradley Cooper is doing 100%.
She even talks at one point about Hawaiian leprechauns.
Yes.
I completely missed that.
Yes.
When they were climbing up the mountain to get to the I don't know if it's a reservation or just ceded land to the tribe that Bumpy was part of, and apparently was the king of, if I caught the dialogue correctly.
They said the word king several times.
When they were climbing up, she stops him and she kind of makes him kind of listen. What was that sound? And then she describes. I can't remember the name, but I remember her describing the entities as Hawaiian leprechauns.
Yeah, because you could hear it sounded like voices, people talking in the background.
Yeah, and she says the sky's alive and all that stuff. One of the lines here that really makes me laugh because they're really pushing it with some of this dialogue and I think Bumpy says stick around, you're gonna skin your knees on eternity, bruh.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what that means. I don't know why it's in the movie.
It's very profound.
John, as a Tennessean, could you translate that for us?
Well, see what you have. You skin your knees. No, I got nothing.
Yeah, so they're just hanging out at Bumpy's for a while. I mean, there's not really that much that happens here. They drive away, and then they see a bunch of people walking through, and it's like this. Emma Stone is like, "Oh, stop the car! Lower your head and bow." I don't know if this is supposed to be real. She thinks they're ghosts.
Now they are ghost warriors from what I tried to decipher from the dialogue. They were ghost warriors who were on their way to honor their dead, also being dead. And if you looked at them and they caught you looking at them, you'd be cursed.
Right.
Yeah.
So were they not really there?
No.
I have no idea. Because we see them, they show them, but then later on they have a conversation, and Bradley Cooper is like, "Yeah, there was nothing there," and she was like, "No, we had a weird experience. We saw a ghost," and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, boo."
So well, he's super cynical. That's part of his thing, right?
Your cynicism is astounding. That's what she tells him several times. But yeah, they and after this, it's just time to go to Rachel McAdams' house and have dinner.
And this is where we get to find out that just like Die Hard, this is a Christmas movie.
Oh no! We should have saved it for December.
And just like Die Hard, this came out in the summer.
Mm-hmm. And just like Die Hard, Alan Rickman is also the villain.
Spoilers.
Well, sorry. I mean, cut to the end.
Alan Rickman plays the Hawaiian leprechaun.
They use that forced perspective thing like Lord of the Rings.
Oh, see, I thought they just put him on his knees like Gary Oldman.
Oh, tiptoes. An Academy Award winner, Gary Oldman. One of the greatest trailers of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're at Rachel McAdams' house. She is like talking to Bradley Cooper, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm super girlfriending you right now," talking about like Krasinski. So John Krasinski is her husband, and he's very quiet. He's not much of a talker.
Why though?
Because he's quirky.
Why make that choice?
Because it's quirky, John.
He talks to Bradley Cooper at the first when they're in the plane.
Yeah.
It's like anytime he's around his wife, he won't or can't talk.
Which, by the way, we'll get to it, but there's a scene later where they play into that hard, and I was like, I don't know what I think about this.
With the words on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the funny quirkiness part, I guess.
Oh, man. So he's just like, yeah, she says like, oh, he doesn't really talk to me. Rachel McAdams saying, my husband doesn't really say anything to me. And, they have this whole bit where Bradley Cooper is like, oh, with all that silence, he was actually saying a lot just then. He was saying,
grab my shoulder.
Yeah, he doesn't see me as a threat. And, he recognizes that I was here before. And it's just, man, this movie is up its own ass. So hard. So,
hey, I do have a question, a serious question.
Sure.
What's this movie about?
Well, John, I mean,
we're getting to that, John.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I got ahead of you. Sorry. You were about to tell me what it's about.
I mean, I think we've been trying to decipher that for about 30 minutes or so, but
that's right.
It's,
sure.
It's really, I don't know what to tell you. I can tell you, though, that in this scene, Rachel McAdams, like I said, she's girlfriending Bradley Cooper, or she says she is, and they're talking about her relationship with Krasinski, and then she says, like, you're not one for commitment, and we get that whole cliche of Bradley Cooper. Apparently they were together, and he just like up and left without saying much, and that's why they broke up, etc.
Also, she makes mention about being. Now, I'm assuming did they meet in Hawaii as well? Like, is that where she and he are from?
I assume that she's always been there.
Okay, so I have a question about her being at a Cure concert. Do you know how ridiculously impossible it is to get a rock concert on the island of Hawaii? There's a lot, like a lot. That's why their local scenes do so well there, is because getting like big names onto the island costs so much damn money.
We should Google the tour 80s. The Cure tour list and see if they went through Honolulu.
Oh, wow. The Cure was in Honolulu for 3 straight days. Crazy.
Who knew?
You know what? You pay for them, you use them.
So while this is all going on, Emma Stone is bonding.
I'm sorry, hold on. I'm just picturing the Cure laying out on the beach in Hawaii. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's just the pale
Robert Smith getting all kinds of sun.
It's my happy place.
He would just burn in seconds.
Mates, what day is it? It's Friday. Got an idea for a song? That's what Robert sounds like.
Yeah, it's a spot on impression. But yeah, while this is going on, Emma Stone is like kind of bonding with Rachel's kids, and she's teaching the daughter how to hula dance. This is the first instance we hear of because Cooper and McAdams were together about 13 years ago, and we hear that the daughter is 12 years old. Uh-oh! By the way, I don't know why that's drawn out, because right from that line, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, so he's the father. Like, it's the most obvious thing in the world.
Damn it. The Cure apparently were also in Honolulu in 2016, so...
Oh, shit!
I guess they do. All right, that bit of logic is just blown right out of the water for me.
All right, Aloha, you just went up a half a star.
Yeah. Well, we could. there's a lot we can complain about Cameron Crowe, but we can't complain about music. He knows music history, so that makes sense.
That's true. No, yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, so Emma Stone is teaching.
So, just to fast forward a little bit, so Bradley doesn't know yet. The audience knows, and apparently Nathan's favorite scene in the movie at the end, the kid figures it out while she's dancing.
Oh yeah, well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, didn't want to get ahead. Just put a connected dots back to how it's all going to come full circle later.
Well, we go from this party to a party at Bill Murray's. This is literally we go from one party to another party to another party because they cut right to Bill Murray's shindig, and they're all having fun, and the sky is warning us about Bill Murray. I think that's what the movie's suggesting.
Even the kid, Rachel McAdams' son, talks about like that Hawaiian legend that includes revenge sex. Apparently,
yes. I really like that the movie teaches us a lot about Hawaiian myths and legends from mostly white people.
Yep.
But yeah, so they're talking at they're hanging out at Bill Murray's place. We see Alec Baldwin for a brief amount of time, and he's like, you don't give them any cell phone service. What the hell? That's a shitty deal. All right. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll be back in like 45 minutes.
I have yelling to do over here now.
Well, even like the first time he sees him. You almost feel like they have like a very combative relationship that's never ever truly explained outside of the fact that apparently his character is just always an asshole, much like Bradley Cooper's.
Yeah, he's just like don't fuck up this deal for us, basically. With Hawaii.
Other than that, I don't want to see or talk to you, kind of, and proceeds not to for, like you said, about 40 minutes.
And this is one of my biggest gripes with the movie, and there are several. But we see Bill Murray in like the first like really substantial scene with him, and he's talking to Bradley Cooper. We learned that Bradley Cooper skimmed money and something Afghanistan. When you have Bill Murray in the movie, fucking use him to his strengths. Like, what are they doing? They give him nothing in this movie.
They didn't even really, like you said, they gave him nothing. His character is very serious for the most part. Maybe comedic in a Bond villain kind of way, but there's nothing, like, there's no meat to his performance, and you're right, it does feel like he's very underutilized.
It felt like that something quirky was going to come out of that dancing scene with him and Emma Stone. Like, this will be fun. This will be cute. Nope. This is not. You're not even dancing.
Again, like I said, I feel he was put in there just so Cameron Crowe could kind of glom off the Wes Anderson vibe.
Yeah, well, and to have Emma Stone be like, I danced with the enemy and I liked it.
Yeah, Dance with the Devil.
Dance with the Devil, that's what it was. Yeah, because they're having that little dance number together.
But she didn't know at the time, did she? Or is it just assumed?
I think she knows.
He's a billionaire, so she probably just assumes.
It's the Jeff Bezos guy. Yeah.
It also threatens to turn into Midsummer by the end of it because Bill Murray's wearing that flower wreath on his head. And I was like, uh-oh, I know where this goes. Emma, get out of there.
Or, stay there because you'll be their new queen.
Oh, true. Yeah.
By the way, that scene is also where we find out that Bill Murray knows what Bradley Cooper did, right? Like
yeah.
He already knew, but he tells him that he knows. I know that you know that I know that you know that we know that sort of thing.
That he skimmed money in Afghanistan. Yeah.
Nobody else knows, but I know.
We go back to the hotel where Bradley Cooper and Emma Stone are staying in separate rooms.
Oh,
and I think
don't forget she got to show more of her island prowess by telling yet another local legend about the winds coming in, being Hawaiian ghosts haunting the officer mess.
Yep, she does that. She also
there's that.
She's so tied to the land, being 1/4 Hawaiian.
That's all it takes, man. 1/4, and that you're pretty much 1/4, and you're halfway there, is what I always say. But she comes. They have a shared like deck or whatever, and she kind of climbs over to his hotel, and it's kind of a funny little moment where she's like trying to show things on her computer, but it's just like her family photos or whatever. That was kind of cute. I'm trying to give praise where I can, and they start bonding, and Emma Stone is like, I'm like, Bradley Cooper, if you don't see that what she wants right now, you're insane, because he spends so much time like dancing around it, and I'm like, just fucking kiss her.
But is this also the scene where we find out he knows now that there's actually going to be additional payload on the satellite?
Not yet. It's right after this.
No? Oh, it's right after this. Okay.
Yeah, because they start macking, and they wake up, post-coital, because this is a PG-13 film.
You said macking. Now I can think of it as macking me.
Pretty nice.
That's a movie we should be discussing.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with that movie?
No, in a good way. It's fantastic.
I will talk about nothing but the Mystery Science Theater version.
Steven Spielberg, you hack. Yeah, what are we going to do, Nathan? Just read jokes from the episode? Yeah, so...
We found out he had a toe grafted onto his foot.
Oh, yeah, he has like a weird foot. So now he's he's a full character.
Even quirkier, right?
Yeah, even
Not only is it he's got personality quirks, but he's actually got physical quirks. And by that, I mean unnecessary surgery scars. Yeah. Why did he keep it?
The additional piece of toe?
Yes. Why didn't, when he got back stateside, be like, I need to see a doctor. For some reason, this asswipe grafted a toe onto my toe. Could you please take it off?
It's all for the ladies, man.
You know what they say about guys with extra toes?
What do they say? They get older, I stay the same age?
They make bad movies.
So this is the incident you were talking about, where Emma Stone is just jogging around town or jogging around Hawaii, as one does, and she happens by Rachel McAdams' house, and her son likes to film stuff.
Oh, wait. First of all...
Oh, yeah, this is where she... Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. She's one of those people that can't stop jogging just to have a conversation. Just stop for a second. You don't have to keep... She goes to the door, she's still jogging. She walks inside, she's still jogging. It's just come on. We get it already. You're healthy. Move on.
You gotta keep that heart rate up, John.
This is where she finds out that there's the additional payload, but Bradley Cooper found out inadvertently as well, because he didn't know about the additional payload till Bill Murray gave him the update schematics on that thumb drive.
This is in the movie, guys.
Yeah.
This is in this movie, Aloha.
It jumps around so much and makes so little sense that there's no way we could do this linear.
No.
No.
So she finds out because...
But he did find out before they had Mac and Me, right?
I don't know.
Nice.
So that's why she was upset, because they backed, as you said. He found out before then.
Good Lord. Yes, he found out before
I had the timeline.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
You're right. So she's obviously upset because she sees that there's a payload heading up into the sky, and she doesn't want any of that. So and the kid just happened to fly by the military base and shoot that footage. So she goes in and meets Bradley Cooper for lunch, and she's not too happy. And it takes him a long time to notice that.
You know
Even
why?
after he
The
gave
hat.
her a Donald from Fat Albert hat.
Yeah, the hat.
He gives her that hat, but before that, she's clearly not in a good mood. There's clearly something up, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on? I got you this hat. Pretty silly, eh? Well, it looks like you're having the best day in the world. Nothing wrong here."
See, the hat was funny and quirky. That's what the movie's going for here.
Oh, is it because it covers most of her face and it has sunglasses on it?
Right. See, you don't get it.
The hat's the hero.
It went over my head, guys.
Like the hat.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, she lost her sunglasses. I get it. But she's clearly upset, and she basically goes to see Danny McBride, who, hey, remember him? He's in the movie. And she's like, I have to resign. He's like, you can't resign on a Saturday. Save that for a Monday.
But why does she have... I'm asking too big why questions. I know you guys aren't
No,
having
it's
answers
okay.
for.
We'll try.
But why does she have to resign?
She doesn't.
I know. Yeah, okay.
All she needs to do is ask for a post reassignment. Or, you know what? Just come out and say, this is what I saw. This is what's going on.
Because it
Let's
goes
move on.
against her moral fiber.
But what to expose them for throwing up the nuclear weapons onto the Brave Angel? That's the name of the satellite, by the way, folks.
Oh, I was unaware that was the name of the satellite.
I didn't know either, actually.
That should have been the name of the movie.
I feel that her allegiance to the Bumpy and
King Bumpy.
yeah, exactly, and to his people would far outweigh her desire to have some sort of, allegiance to Bradley Cooper and the billionaire he works for.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, she's very much like, yeah, Bradley Cooper, fuck you, I'm out. And they have their little breakup scene.
Yeah. And then we have to watch Rachel McAdams and John Krasinski do something similar.
Yes, they have marital issues. And by the way, the quickest breakup ever, because she says something along the lines of you never talk to me. And John Krasinski's like, it's okay, I'll go. And then leaves and kicks a Santa Claus ornament outside.
Decapitates a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I would rather leave than talk to you.
That's what he says. He goes to hang out with Pam.
This is all Gilchrist's fault.
This is not Gilchrist's fault. We had problems long before Gilchrist showed up.
Maybe it's not his fault, but
But what? What? Just talk to me. You don't talk to me. Say something. Woody, I can't take this silence anymore. You stay. I'm leaving.
No. I'll go.
And now the movie takes a strong turn into what the hell is going on, because all of a sudden we find out the Chinese have hacked into the payload. So we I didn't
get any. I don't know. I didn't understand what the Chinese have to do with this. That's when I wrote down. Wait, is he a computer hacker? Is that what Bradley Cooper is?
Hold on a second. Before the Chinese hacked into the place, doesn't Rachel McAdams go to Bradley Cooper to go over the whole, in case you missed it, people, that she's his daughter? Because don't they have that scene at the hotel before the Chinese hack?
Yeah, he says something like, she doesn't want to talk about it. He says, let me ask you this. When Father's Day comes around, do I need to celebrate?
You need to celebrate.
And she says, celebrate. And that's it. I was like, it's a real emotional moment there.
No one talks like this.
No one. Not a soul.
And then, the Chinese hacked the payload.
The Chinese have hacked the payload. We got to launch this right now. And so, Bradley Cooper goes into wherever he needs to go. This little girl walks up to Bill Murray and says, "Thank you for saving the world." That was an odd moment. Gives him a glass of champagne.
Almost like a Wes Anderson movie.
Weird, right?
Right?
It's almost like Cameron Crowe's trying to be someone else. By the way, this Chinese hack is the second biggest conflict in the movie, and it's solved within, 35 seconds.
Yeah. With the help from Piper's brother from Orange is the New Black.
Is that who it is?
I'm pretty sure it's the same actor, yeah.
Oh, okay. He Bradley Cooper stops the hack. He sends up the launch, but then he sees Emma Stone's face, and he's like,
"So who is the guy? Who is the guy? I don't I guess the guy you're talking about. He was just in the closet. Some guy in the closet he uses to help him."
Yeah, it's like the Deus Ex Machina for him. I have a hacker friend I can call to help us with this. We haven't met him before,
nope.
And this is the only time he matters in the story.
That seems like a bad idea for the government just to trust. Here, this hacker guy. This will be fine.
It's still a private. It's a private corporation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That makes okay.
It is weird though that this guy, his buddy, is like, "Yeah, I'll help you sabotage this fucking $13 million launch or whatever."
Well, he initially wasn't brought on to sabotage it. He was brought on to save it by killing the Chinese hack, if I'm using the Cameron Crowe parlance correctly. And so it wasn't only until after, as Brendan alluded to earlier, that Bradley Cooper saw just how disappointed Emma Stone was. She wasn't mad. She was just disappointed.
Listen, I'm just going to say right now, that's the most accurate part in this movie. If Emma Stone looked disappointed in what I was doing, I would reverse course.
I thought the same thing because there was a scene. I remember that scene specifically. She was on the ground sitting, and she looked up with her big giant puppy dog eyes. I was like, "Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
You got me. Whatever you want. Here it is. Take all my money. That's whatever it is.
You got
Makes
it.
Makes the movie almost worth it right there."
Yeah.
But yeah, So wait. How does he destroy it, guys?
he gets his hacker friend, played by Piper's brother from Orange is the New Black, to bombarded with every sound ever recorded, I guess.
Send a little message up there to Brave Angel fast.
Brave Angel.
What are you doing?
You're gonna try and
Prepare the deck for upload. And there's no time for questions. Just do it right now, right?
It's very dangerous to try to spoof it with sound. You could destroy the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
We got it.
Okay, I got it. Prepare for upload of the asset.
What are you pinging with?
Every bit of recorded information in the history of sound.
Jesus, that's a big ping.
It's the biggest.
I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think it is either.
I mean, we don't have a rocket scientist on the call unless John is, has some kind of study that I don't know about, but...
No, but I listened carefully because I was sure Cameron Crowe was going to sneak in a Jerry Maguire quote or something. That'd have been perfect.
I was waiting for it too.
Show me the money right in the middle of that. It makes perfect sense.
Well, you know what? The only way to really find out is to go back and painstakingly watch that scene over and over again, trying to separate every bit of audio to see if there indeed is a Cuba Gooding Jr. or Tom Cruise, or even, Renelle Zellweger or Jonathan Lipnicki quote in that scramble of audio.
Nathan, why would you suggest such a horrifying thing to do?
You know what? I feel like if you're going to do something, you go all the way and you do it right, and you do it accurately, and you show some pride in what you're doing, so that you do it 100% all the way. You don't half-ass it. What the hell does this note mean?
Perfect follow-up. I just wrote down "fuck you, science," I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
Because after he pings it with every sound ever recorded in the history of sound, it blows up. Like, he blows up the satellite. And my next note is, he's going to jail. Like, right?
Right? Multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar satellite.
Yeah. He tells Emma Stone, don't hang around with me, man. Like, I'm bad news. You need to stay with
I'm radioactive, he actually says. And it was right around this time that my Chromecast was like, no, fuck you, I'm out. It crashed on me like 2 or 3 more times between this point and the end of the movie. It was so fed up with this movie. Thank God it was free. I watched it on the CTV Go app.
Oh, yeah. You get commercial breaks and everything.
I don't care. I didn't have to pay for this movie.
So, yeah, he blows it up, tells Emma Stone, get out of here while you still can. Bill Murray seems relatively unbothered by what's happened, even though he just lost like a $10 million, $13 million satellite. Mm-hmm. He does swear like calm revenge on him, but that's about it. But then we go from that stoic behavior to Alec Baldwin just full on screaming. I actually did get a laugh here because Bradley Cooper and Danny McBride are like sitting in the room waiting for Baldwin to show up. He's like a general, and he comes in, and the first thing they're saying, like, is he pissed? And you just see him coming in like, ah, as he's entering the room.
Hopefully the holiday spirit will have him in a good mood.
Happy New Year's, General.
I thought someone said good morning to him, and then he yelled, and they just like, whoop, they just turned away.
Yeah.
And he calls him, does he not call Bradley Cooper Mr. Sexy Pants during this dressing down?
Yes. Yes, there is something like that. Yes.
My God.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
Yeah, so he's just yelling. He says that Emma Stone is apparently Hillary Clinton's star pupil.
No,
Right.
Star Guard. She's part of her Star Guard. Not to be confused with Sarsgaard or Skarsgård. Fantastic actors.
Garden State? That better
Right.
movie.
Or It. Or the new Godzilla movie. Or Thor, which has Stellan Skarsgård.
Or Good Will Hunting.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. All these better movies.
Yeah, all these better movies. So, yes, she's part of her Hillary Clinton's Star Guard. Her apparent only purpose that Alec Baldwin could think that she serves is that when Hillary comes to the island, she likes to see her salute because it's a crisp, fantastically professional salute.
Yeah, and that's a callback to earlier because she was teaching the kids how to do a good salute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I like
there's
that's
for you.
her. I like that's her merit to the.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
She got a little badge for that.
So yeah, he's screaming at him, and whatever. We go to back to Rachel McAdams. She gets a letter from John Krasinski, which she reads to Bradley Cooper, and he's like, he's basically like, well, if you don't go back with them, I'm gonna fuck him. Like, it's a pretty good letter.
And then we have the fucking exchange.
Yeah, then we have this
Bradley
scene between Bradley Cooper and John Krasinski comes home, and they have a wordless exchange that is the whole time subtitles on the screen explaining to us what they're saying without dialogue. I didn't know what to make of this.
Here's what I made of it. This is a joke I expect on That 70s Show, not in a Cameron Crowe movie.
Fair.
So,
John, as a Tennessean, is this something that goes on in your state?
Yes, we hug people and don't say anything.
Yeah, and it means 18 different things.
No, we don't. No, this is not. This is. I don't. This is no. This does not make sense. Though, on a side note, because this was the last movie Cameron Crowe wrote.
He hasn't written anything since 2015.
Nope.
I guess he figures that's all
He's like,
I've had.
Everything. I'm done. I'm out of here.
I had
guys.
to say, I've said. Yeah.
You can only go down from here. I mean, once you've reached the top.
So this came out 2015. So you assume he wrote at least 2 years before then. So that's like probably a good 10 years since he's wrote a movie because this was his swan song. This was it.
This was it. Aloha. This is what I wanted. This is the message I wanted to
aloha as in goodbye. Aloha. I'm out of here. So all this time, that's what he was telling us. We missed it.
It was
Between
very.
the lines.
It was very
telling
subtle.
us hello
though.
and goodbye.
It was a lot. There was a lot of subtext. You had to catch it. You had to be quick to catch it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Why would you think this is a Tennessee reference?
I don't know.
They're in Hawaii.
I don't know.
They're literally the furthest they could be from Tennessee.
I just like to hear you comment on behalf of Tennessee as much as possible.
And apparently the rest of the country.
Yes, please. John, as an American, what did you
thoughts? I have opinions.
Don't get me wrong, John, but there's a lot of folks that I've met from America who think that people in Alberta think exactly the same way as people in New Brunswick. It's not even close to the same coast, so I think it's fair for Brendan to think that Hawaii and Tennessee are right next door to each other.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not Canadian, but I can tell you Rachel McAdams is the goddamn national treasure. That's right.
You fucking right she is.
Right? Her and Brendan Fraser.
Yep.
Maybe not so much in this movie. It's not her best work. But
Yeah, Brendan Fraser's best work is not in this film for sure.
That's true.
So anyways.
Wait. Was he the leprechaun? Brendan Fraser was the Hawaiian leprechaun.
If you look on IMDb, it says in parentheses, scenes deleted.
Yeah.
But no, so and again, I just want to go back to this wordless conversation just for a second because it's not as if it's like simple things. It's not as if like John Krasinski's looking at him a certain way and it says like, I'm sorry. Or Bradley Cooper looks at him a certain way and says like, you're going to be okay. It's like, did you have sex with my wife? No, I had sex with Emma Stone's character. Oh, okay. Thank God. Like,
and also,
what?
Also, I'm raising your daughter, so we're good with that, right? Yep. Good.
You know that's your daughter, right? Yeah, totes.
Thanks, fam.
We find out that Bill Murray was sending up nukes. We already knew that. And he gets arrested in kind of a funny moment because it's like all done in like a wide shot, like a super wide shot where the cops are like running towards him. Almost, Nathan, wait a second. That's almost a Wes Anderson shot. Yeah. And then after that, Bradley Cooper finds out that nothing's gonna happen to him because they found out that he was actually sending up nukes. So like, you did us a favor. How convenient. Thanks for blowing up the satellite of love. You're gonna be fine. Bradley Cooper goes and like reunites with Emma Stone, and he's like, "Listen, I just want to ask you all about your childhood. What movies did you like? What did you eat for breakfast?" And blah 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 blah. And they have their kiss and their reunion, so that's nice. And then, yes, the final scene that we alluded to.
No words were spoken.
So, well, set this up.
Okay, so the daughter has been struggling with her hula
dancing. Yep.
And Emma Stone was trying to teach her, being 1/4 Hawaiian, was teaching her how to do this hula dance.
And once she mastered that 1/4 part, she needed more lessons for the other 3/4.
Right. Although, so that all that stuff was just to set up, I guess, for this scene so that he could go to see her hula class while she was hula dancing. And the first thing I thought when I saw this, I was like, you know what, this girl, maybe she's got an inkling about this Gilchrist guy, or oppositely, she could think, what's my mom's weird friend glaring at me through my dance studio window?
Right? And everyone else in that dance studio is probably like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yep.
But without saying a word to each other, she runs out and embraces him. And right there, she's like, I guess you're my dad, but no dialogue is spoken. And then she just goes back in and keeps dancing.
Yep.
Guys.
I gotta think if I'm the teacher at this point, I'm calling the cops. I gotta do something.
Right?
Hey, see something, say something. I mean, this is not, I can't allow this.
Dear, do you know who that man is?
Yeah, he's my mom's friend. I met him for the first time 2 days ago.
Okay.
He may or may not be my dad.
I'm going to get you to go in the back room for a second. I need to make a few phone calls. And that's the last scene of Aloha. Other than during the credits, we get a bunch of
broken satellite floating by.
Yeah.
No, we do get a scene of him going to the farm.
King Bumpy.
King Bumpy's farm.
Oh yeah, he does give him
something.
like a piece of meteorite or something from the crashed satellite.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh,
I didn't know
and
what it was.
or is it? And then Bumpy gives him like a volcanic rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Oh, Aloha to Aloha. That's the movie.
By the way, fun fact: Dennis Bumpy Conaheel was played by himself.
Yeah, I read that too. I was like, "What? That's weird. That's odd."
You say he's kind of a heel?
He played himself. He was playing himself. The same character.
Okay.
The actor.
Okay, no. See,
Kind of a 1517 in Paris kind of thing. You got it.
I thought you were making like a comment on him. This guy, kind of a heel, played his own. Also, wrestling reference, got it in.
Whoa, took a while. Jeez.
Took a while this time around, yeah.
But I will say, continuing the tradition from the 1517 to Paris, Bumpy as himself, much better performance.
Right. Yes.
But now, since Aloha, we say Aloha to Aloha, we need to go around the horn, and I don't know, I think you might have a good idea after hearing how we've talked about this movie so far. But John, I want to get your opinion first. So, is this movie worth a watch?
Nope.
A drunk watch with friends?
Sorry.
Would you commit head trauma to forget it, or avoid like the plague?
I don't think it's worth it. I like looking at Emma Stone. I don't mean in a creepy way. She just lights up. I don't know. I guess I did mean in a creepy way. I don't know how else to say it. She's good at what she does.
Yeah.
So, but whatever that level is, it's not one notch above. Not worth a watch.
Okay, so like head trauma to forget it.
Yeah, head trauma to forget it.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. And Nathan, what about you?
I'm just gonna say avoid like the plague. Honest to God, I wouldn't attempt head trauma to forget about it because I would want to warn people not to watch it. There are far better Cameron Crowe movies, and as far as the people in this movie, there are far better movies in their catalog of hits that you could go to. This is unless you have some weird completionist thing, just don't.
And here's the thing. This movie has both Danny McBride and Bill Murray and Rachel McAdams, and we didn't really talk a whole lot about them. So think about like if the movie squanders people like that, like it's not too great. It kind of squanders everyone, honestly, but.
So I had this thought halfway through the movie, and I corrected myself and got back on track. But I said, "Is Bradley Cooper not a good actor?"
Whoa!
Because I'm like, this doesn't. It didn't feel like I was watching this like I didn't think he was great in this, but I reminded myself all the good work he's done before, so I let it go. But I did not enjoy him in this. I didn't think he just was one monotone kind of note.
I mean,
no emotion, just nothing.
I think to be fair, he's not given a whole lot to work with.
Yeah.
No, I guarantee a lot of the direction was just like only think of yourself. Only think of yourself.
Just nailed it.
Be as much of a sociopath as you possibly can.
Yeah, you're the Crow stand-in. Do it up, Bradley. No, I would also. I think I would go the far end of this and also say avoid like the plague. This is a movie that I saw in theaters and was angry after it ended. It's like I can't believe I wasted time, not money, but just time watching this movie with all these people that I love. Very upsetting.
Well, the interesting thing about this, the whole controversy quote about this movie was Emma Stone playing this character, and that just seems so minor compared to how bad the movie was.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a big deal, but like it just doesn't matter.
I mean,
it's not even a movie worth talking about to get upset about that.
I mean, like representation is important, of course, but like it's also like there's other worse, more egregious targets to go after, and this movie is not worth anyone's time, and no one saw it clearly because it made like half its budget. So
yeah.
So there you go.
Yep.
There you go. We are going to take a brief break, though, and we will be right back after some ads.
What were they thinking?
And we're back.
Yes, we are back.
That's right. That's when we turn the dial down. We tune into NPR, and we get a little poetic. Nathan, what do we do here?
Well, we like to show our mastery of the ancient art of the haiku poem, where we present 17 perfect syllables to describe the movie that we have just been talking about in a little segment we like to call the low haiku.
John, as our guest on this show, would you like to start off with your haiku?
It's good to make him feel welcomed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A last-minute addition to the haiku here is, what is Aloha? A movie about Hawaiian leprechauns? Nah, it's crow garbage.
Okay, very good.
Nathan, would you like to read your haiku?
Yes. So many tone shifts. It's nothing to crow about. Forgettable trite.
No one talks like this. We've got nukes and kooks and space. Hawaii so white. Thank you. Thank you. We're out.
And proud.
Hey.
Also,
man.
Hey, you want to know something?
Yeah.
I just found an article from June 12th of 2013 entitled "The Cure Scheduled First Ever Concert in Hawaii, 2013." Suck it!
This movie came out in 2015, though.
Yeah, but when he fell in love with her, she was a crazy girl running around outside of a Cure concert. Right?
It could have been not. Did they mention it was specifically in Hawaii?
They don't, but that's why I asked, were they from Hawaii? Had they kind of grown up there? Okay. Because if they had lived there and grown up there, that would be an anachronism.
By the way, you found the flaw in the movie, though.
The one
Nathan.
flaw, the one.
That's it. You found it.
You did it. It's now no longer
the perfect movie.
It's no longer the perfect film.
That's going to put even lower down on the old AFI.
It's only a 4.5-star movie now. But guys, we talked about this movie. We talked about it in depth. But Nathan, what do we always say?
Well, we always say,
Don't take a word for us.
That's right. We say, don't take our word for it. Nathan, how many of the what percentage of the critics enjoyed this particular film?
well, out of 166 reviews, 20% of the critics liked this.
Wow. I'm assuming the audience liked it. I don't even know. I can't even predict.
28% out of 25,000 plus ratings like this movie.
So 28%.
And if you like this movie, you might also like My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
Not the first one.
Nope. Winter's Tale.
Coming soon.
Table 19.
Sure.
And as we mentioned earlier, our good friend Adam Sandler with Drew Barrymore in Blended.
Not their best work.
No, but the audience apparently liked it a lot more than the critics.
But I bet it was filmed in Hawaii.
I think it was.
Was it? I thought that was the African Safari one.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
50 First Dates was filmed in Hawaii.
Yeah. 50 First Dates was a lot better than Blended, though.
Yeah, it was also
a horror film.
A horror movie, yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it then. Let's see what these critics think. Max Weiss of Baltimore Magazine says, half the time while watching Aloha, I had no clue what was going on. Not so much the plot, although I was admittedly a bit muddled on that too, but why anyone acted the way they did. And he gives it a 1.5 out of 4.
Max gets it.
Well, Ruben Rosario from Miami Art Zine, he wrote, Aloha is a featherweight concoction that's fuzzy in the head and squishy in the middle. Yes, there's even an obligatory happy couple montage, but the film is also nuanced and eccentric in ways that are very unusual for a studio comedy. That was a positive review.
Wow. Glowing.
Joe from I'm Not a Real Critic. Oh, wait, no. So here's a real one. Molly Lake from Missoula Independent. Aloha is mostly bad, uneven film with hard-to-know characters and a baffling premise, which is pretty much what we said.
Yeah.
Because I still don't know what it's about.
Lenica Cruz from The Atlantic says, the whole story is a tangled mess. Aloha sees itself as a quirky, funny, and sad, but loudly announces when it's trying to be those things.
Neil Rosen from NY1 TV writes, Crowe, a former journalist for Rolling Stone, does know music and the soundtrack is good. The on-location Hawaii settings are also very nice to look at. However, there's a little else here worth recommending. 1.5 out of 4.
Spot on.
See, because he's from NY, New York 1
Yo.
TV.
Yeah, we got it. I got what? Steve Purcell from Tampa Bay Times. I don't have a Tampa Bay accent. I don't even know what that would be.
Come on.
Right now it's anyways.
Smoke a bunch of meth, fight an alligator, then get back to it.
That's right. This is what we talked about earlier. Suddenly, Adam Sandler's working vacations in Hawaii look a lot better. Island natives shouldn't be upset over being excluded from the Crow movie. They should be mad because they're in it.
Ouch.
All right, this is my last critics review, and it's something we talked about, guys. It's from Andrew Galdi of the Movie Bitches, and he says, it was like Cameron Crowe does a Wes Anderson film, and the result is, huh?
Yup. All right. Let's see my last one here from Gwynedd Stewart from the Chicago Reader. Even if this were well made in a technical sense, it would still be a weird heap of patriotism, astronomy, and Hawaiian folklore piled on top a pat and predictable love story.
There you go.
Because he's from Chicago.
I think you can say a lot about this movie, but predictable is not the word I would use.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's blow up a satellite with sound.
Yeah, that's not where I thought the movie was going.
Turn up the radio.
Oh, this is actually a sort of a positive one, but it's worth reading.
Oh.
Peter Galvin. You guys read that one yet? Peter Galvin. I really should start listening to the show more often.
The one that you're currently recording?
I should listen to the one I'm on. Peter Galvin from SBS. It's an Australian channel. He said, I actually enjoyed the sprawling messiness of it. Nope.
Wow, that's a hot take.
You are wrong, sir. You are wrong, sir.
Well, let's get into the real showman. Let's get into the audience here. I've got one here from just GM, so I'm assuming the ghost of Gary Marshall. He says,
no, it's the anonymous GM, the anonymous Raw GM.
Oh, sorry, Wrestling Reference got it in.
I only had 2 this week.
Full of sentiment and transcendence, human, tender, and funny, poetic, and colorful, torn by the critics. Watch it definitely. Prove them wrong. 4.5 out of stars.
Okay. Well, my first audience review comes from Doug B, so I can only assume it's Doug Benson.
It's you?
Which is apparently me. Doug writes, I think 2 stars is a bit brutal. I thought the background plot, evil billionaire Bill Murray trying to launch weaponized satellite in cahoots with the U.S. military, too simplistic and obvious. But the triangular-ish love story was interesting and at times nuanced. There's that word again. The final scenes with A, Cooper playing off Krasinski, and B, Cooper watching McAdams' daughter dancing were really quite well done. Sorry, Doug. I always feel a few good scenes can almost redeem a movie. And hey, who can hate any movie shot in Hawaii? 3 out of stars.
You know, I think Doug loves too many movies.
I think Doug may have been a bit too high.
I'm out.
But he starts it with, I think 2 stars is a bit brutal.
Yeah.
He gives it 3.
Yeah.
Gives it 3.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. He's smoking a lot of weed.
This is Michael M.
Michael Moore.
There's no punctuation till the end, and I think this is 2 sentences. I'm not sure. Way better than they say love it. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. There's 3 exclamation points. Way better than they say love it.
There you go.
3 exclamation points at the end. 5 stars.
Yeah. And then he filmed himself saying that and then released it as a documentary. Michael Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let's see here. From Jarek C. Jarek C says, it's one of the best movies, I have ever watched, complete story, family, and the music is superb. It's a new movie story, 5 stars.
5. Well,
it's a new movie story, guys.
Right.
So,
well, here's the thing. Ophelia S. She didn't feel the same way. In fact, Ophelia S. writes 9/13/18 library DVD at home. 3 out of stars.
Wow, that is let's dive into that for a second.
Much tougher critic.
Emma says it's quirky and beautiful.
Emma Stone?
I'm assuming so. Let's go with that.
Okay. Tom E., who I can only assume is Thomas Edison, says, y'all who gave this movie a bad review are jaded. Been enjoying film for over 50 years and stumbled onto this on cable. There's a reason why Canadian TV and film are so popular. I don't know why he says that about this movie. Finding homes mostly on networks like Up TV and Hallmark and the like. They're about appreciating life without all the daily media rainbow drama divisive peddling. At first I thought it was the worst casting ever for anyone, Emma Stone, but then she delivered and owned the role. I couldn't say a bad thing about the film by the end. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Wonder why I never heard of it and was shocked by the negative reviews / ratings. Jaded deplorables. 5 stars.
Well, I don't know if I can follow that one up, but Matthew A.
I got nothing.
I got nothing because I was not just looking for a celebrity name when I found this one. Great story, great acting, heart-wrenching. Watch it, buy it, remember it.
What?
3 exclamation points, 5 out of stars.
I was really hoping you were going to say like 2.5.
That would have been great, wouldn't it? Remember it.
So, Mickey C is clever. I'm going to say she. It could be a guy. Aloha to this movie, am I right?
Jesus Christ.
And I'm going to assume that means hello. Hello to this movie.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, it's just a way of saying they really liked it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Half star, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not then.
Goodbye.
I forgot to mention that part. That seems crucial to the review.
That seemed like an important detail to overlook. This review is this one is from Pat H, who I can only assume is Pat Hingle.
It must be.
He says, let me start by saying, I created an account to write this review. This was the worst movie I have ever seen. If you're the kind of person that doesn't enjoy wasting 105 minutes of your life, do not press play on this train wreck of a romantic comedy. Aside from the nothing short of spectacular actors peppering the cast, the movie offers nothing of value to the viewer. The plot is absolutely absurd and lacks any sort of clarity. We're dropped in Hawaii with the supposed failure of a human being who is determined to right his wrongs as a military contractor. Sounds great, right? Everyone loves a good comeback story. Wrong. Instead, you're pausing the movie 45 minutes in, asking yourself what the hell is going on. Maybe you decide to turn it off. Unfortunately, I decided to continue watching in hopes that some sliver of the seemingly interesting plot displayed in the trailer would shine through the shades. The concluding credits began ascending up the screen, and there I was, contemplating never turning on another television for as long as I live. But I digress. Pick another movie so you don't end up writing a one-time review at 11:30 p.m. on a Tuesday night. 19% was a generous rating. Godspeed. 1 star.
My next audience review comes from Bill W. So I can only assume that's Bill Watts, former owner of WCW Wrestling.
So it's got it in again.
All right. Well, you know what? I just going to be absolutely secured. I saw this before hearing about how quote-unquote bad it was, and it became one of my favorite movies. And I'm not a chick flick fan. I'm a sucker for the space program and Hawaii, and for many of the stars of the film. But although the storyline got a bit predictable, I thought overall it was good. Great cinematography, good performances. I don't see what all the hate is about. 5 out of stars.
Well, who's not a sucker for Hawaiian space films?
I just like how he's like straight up. He's like, just so you know, not a chick flick guy, not gay. So anyway, here's my review.
A sucker for space and Hawaii movies. God help him if Elvis had ever made a Hawaiian astronaut movie.
Oh, if only.
Now there's got to be a list somewhere of all the space Hawaii movies. By the way, Joe M.
Oh, Joe Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello, okay.
From Spider-Man.
He says it's better than The Martian, 5 stars.
Wait a second, hold on. I think we've had a similar review. I think he posts that on a lot of movies because I feel like
he does that for everything.
I've heard that before.
He just goes out and posts better than him. Oh, now I got to see Joe M's history.
Better than The Martian. Better than The Martian. Better than The Martian.
The Martian like his postal?
Must be, which is insane to think of.
Right.
All right. Well, I've got one more. Last audience review here is from Brett B, who I can only assume is Brett Byer from Fox News.
Okay.
To me, Cameron Crowe hit it out of the park. I thank you for making this film. It was magical in mana. It hit me in wonderful ways that others seem to have missed. Thank you. The warmest aloha to you. 4 stars.
Okay.
He's very passionate about aloha and stoking hatred on the news.
So my last audience review comes from Rachel M. I can only assume it's Rachel McAdams. And she writes, starts the sentence with an exclamation point. Great, spelled Grate, casting. Bradley Cooper, Emma Stone, no punctuation. Rachel McAdams, John Krasinski, ellipsis, exclamation point. The ending was the funniest part. Without talking, guys could communicate. LOL. 3 out of stars.
All right, Rachel McAdams liking her own movie.
It's so much so that
treasure.
She does not care about punctuation
no.
or the placements of ellipses.
No, John, that's Nicolas Cage you're thinking about, National Treasure.
Oh, yeah.
With John Voight.
With John Voight. America's Sweetheart, John Voight.
Send us home, John.
What am I doing? Oh, do I have another one? Oh.
Your last one, yep.
You know what I was doing? I was looking at the history of that one guy. He's like, wait, what did he else? The guy that said that said better than
The Martian?
Yeah, I don't have other. He loved both the Blade Runner movies. He loves all the Godzilla and King Kong movies, and he says Rogue One is better than Force Awakens. Dan M says it's bad choices.
That's it. Bad choices.
There's other stuff, but let's stick with that. That's all that matters. 1.5 stars.
Oh, wow.
Dan M, 1.5 star. Bad choices.
There we go. Well, there you go. Those are the reviews. That's what we're hearing about from the audience. We're hearing about from the critics. But we should hear about what's coming up next week. So I'll give a little quick hintski here. Roundhouse kick to hell. There you go.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. That's what you're doing. Okay, and now, guys, I don't know if you know this, but there's a pandemic going on right now.
What?
It's the 19th COVID, and we've that's not what it is. That's what the actual
year it was. Yep.
It's what an actual
The
person
year that it was found in
the White House said that it was about a year ago. But I digress. COVID-19.
I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. Can you elaborate? There's a COVID thing. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, it's this thing. No. But we're all kind of staying inside. You know, some of us are vaccinated, some of us are almost there, and you know, we're probably watching a lot of TV, a lot of movies, a lot of stuff, a lot of streaming. So I guess I just have to ask, maybe one thing in particular. John, I'll start with you. What you watching, bud?
Well, first of all, Cameron Crowe, please write another movie. Don't let this in you. You can do it. Get back on the horse. Do something new. Don't let this be your last one. We got you. We're behind you. We'll buy a ticket. We may buy a ticket. We're not buying a ticket. Okay.
Oh.
So I saw a couple things lately. I saw, speaking of Emma Stone, I saw Cruella.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was okay. Enjoyable. Fun.
I liked it.
Wackiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Heights. For those who like musicals.
Mm-hmm.
Lavish musicals. And I'm giving you more than you wanted. But I did want to mention this. I just saw, Summer of Soul. Maybe the best movie of the year.
Okay.
Documentary.
Okay.
Questlove documentary.
Yep, and you can watch that on Disney Plus in Canada anyway, because it's on the Star channel or whatever.
It's on Hulu in the U.S.,
which is basically our Hulu.
Yeah. Okay.
Nathan, what you watching, bud?
Well, I actually just checked out a fun little anthology movie with Clancy Brown called The Mortuary Collection. It's on Shudder. It's got an interesting little framing device where Clancy Brown plays keeper for a funeral home in this small town, I think called Raven's End. And the movie is him telling the stories of the deaths of some of the people who have come through his funeral home to this prospective new employee. Sometimes it gets a little predictable, but I mean, the inclusion of Clancy Brown is first of all great, and there are some really fun horror stories going on there. It doesn't take itself too seriously. So on Shudder, check it out, The Mortuary Collection.
And for more on Clancy Brown, you can listen to our episode on Pet Sematary 2, where he says, "You know why I brought back your wife? Because I wanted to fuck her." One of the best lines in that movie. Fantastic. All right, cool. Well, I watched a little film as well. I watched a movie that deals with characters in a much more realistic way, and this movie was called The Miseducation of Cameron Post. This is a movie starring Chloe Grace Moretz. She plays she plays a girl who is in the closet. She's gay, and her parents catch her, or someone catches her with another woman. She is sent to a conversion, like one of those Christian conversion therapy camp places. Yeah.
Yikes.
It's almost like the super dramatic version of But I'm a Cheerleader. Like, it's not, it's the more realistic way of portraying that, I think. Less campy. No pun intended. And no, it's really good. It's really good. It's really realistic. I really enjoy how even the people working at the camp, they even have one particular character that is a little bit conflicted, not like overly like Hollywoody, like, he just wants to be okay and he's being held down by these other super Christian people, but it's really good. And Chloe Moretz is really become a good little actor. So I would recommend that movie, Miseducation of Cameron Post. But on that note, Nathan, you have a little buddy here who wants to say hello.
Yes, he's always...
It's not his penis, don't worry, John.
It's not. He's always glad to pimp on this show. Just 1 second, I'll go get him.
I just want to make sure John knew no penis was coming up.
Well, if you want to, Brendan, I can certainly show it to you.
No, I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right.
I just watch National Geographic if I want to see that.
Oh, I'm better than those chimps chaps. I have a banana just for you if you'd like.
I mean, John told me if you wouldn't mind. He actually sent me an email just before the podcast started.
So that's the little buddy you were talking about, his penis. Just want to be clear, the description of what we're saying here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get this bit of business out of the way, Brendan, so that we can get down to brass tacks on this. So just give me one moment. Yes, I am your good friend Montrose Merkington III, and I certainly do invite you to check out my YouTube channel, Montrose Merkington TV. You can also be friends with me on Facebook at the Facebook group Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends. And then finally, if you wish so, you can tweet at me on your Twitter devices at Montrose III, that's the number 3D. Thank you. More later.
Thank you, Montrose.
Brass balls.
Put that anaconda away.
You don't want none?
Jesus. John, thank you for coming by again.
I'm sorry, I already left.
Oh.
I left out the anaconda reference.
No, thank you, John. Thank you very much for coming by. You also have a podcast and you do stuff, so why don't you tell the people about the stuff that you do?
I do stuff. I talk about, I have a podcast called The Best Movie of the Year so far, where I literally talk about the best movies of the year. It's been a rough go of the past 18 months or so. Not a lot of new movies, or if they are, they're very hard to find. So, but that's the least of the world's problems right now, me not being able to find new movies to watch, so I'm not complaining too much. But yeah, it's out there on all the major channels.
Fox News, Newsmax.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we just signed up this
America
major
One Network
Newsmax sponsorship now, so we're in now.
John, you did tell me you did send me an email
that
shortly
is a joke. It's a joke.
Shortly before this recording.
I know people know I'm American here. That is a joke. Just make sure.
No, I'm just reading the email you sent me here, John.
I know you'll cut that part out where I said it's a joke. So
no, John. John, I'm just saying you did send me an email here where you said you wanted to do a tight 10 on the election.
That's right. Yeah, I got thoughts. But we'll save them for next episode.
We'll save them for next time when we talk about, I don't know, Vantage Point or some shit. But that's it. That's pretty much it. You can find us on all the podcast apps. We're of course our home base is Age of Radio.
Big time.
We're on. We're everywhere. Just look for us. We're on Facebook. Just search for What Were They Thinking. We're on Twitter and Instagram at WWTT Podcast and TikTok. I don't know if I've even posted anything there. Yeah, there's some stuff. Go check it out. We're on Redbubble, TeePublic, Patreon.com/WWTT Podcast. You can sign up there.
Now you're just making up channels now, aren't you?
I am not making up Patreon.com/WWTT
We're on
Podcast, sir.
Blue Tea and Orange Chips, and we're just...
Man, it's like that joke we used to make in the first couple seasons. We were on like Pod Closet and Pod Kit Knife. We were part of the Teddy Ruxpin Appreciation Society. We were on Al Jazeera, but only piggybacking off their message board. And we were on HBO After Dark, I believe.
Yeah, we used to be on 8chan when they were more progressive. Which, I guess that was never. So yeah, find us. Even though John ruined my flow, I still got this. Find us. We're out there. Thanks, John.
I was going to say, you have the editing skills. You can ruin my flow back and I can't get back at you. So you can do whatever you want to me.
Thank you, John, for calling back a fantastic joke from our first couple of seasons.
Yeah, unknowingly.
I knew. It was part of the script you gave me. Remember?
Oh, right. Yeah, we did go off the script.
Shh, ixnay.
Well, Nathan, we better stick with this script because I believe you have a few questions to finish off this episode.
Yeah, I got a couple, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
So, all right. So, with a movie where Cameron Crowe is trying to be Wes Anderson, and with a movie where he approached it like Adam Sandler making a movie with his friends, and in a movie where you have all the stars, but nothing clicks.
Yep, the sky was empty because they were all in this movie.
Right, and And in a movie where sound can blow up an international multi-million, if not billion-dollar satellite, and in a movie where Emma Stone is 1/4 Hawaiian, I really have to ask,
Shoot.
what were they thinking?
Aloha.
It's a good title.
No, I made Get Out.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams